I'm coming at you with a massive attack. I'll leave you flat on your back, smack you with my mighty tackle. Bones will pop, snap and crackle. This is a blitzkrieg, son. Sit down, I already won. Punishment has begun. Just let me reload my gun of ones. It's time to get off my pitch. Here I can help you with this. My shadow friend got a shiv, and he likes when you resist. Time to be quiet, don't snitch. I love the thrill of the risk. On day I spin like a disc. You know it deep in your soul. It's in your blood to roll. Bet every dollar you own. It's in your blood to roll. Man, this boy's out of control. It's in your blood to roll. You got some dice to roll. It's in your blood to roll. You know it deep in your soul. It's in your blood to roll. Bet every dollar you own. It's in your blood to roll. Man, this boy's out of control. It's in your blood to roll. You got some dice to roll. It's in your blood 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 to roll.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first game of the round of 16. Here at the Rebbl playoffs, we've got Noctifer versus, I think his name's Con. And we've got some Amazons versus, well, we'll look at the Amazons first real quick. They're going to start very shortly. This is Influencers, which, I mean, is a bit of a disservice to some of the names here, but I recognize half of these names. But anyway, the main thing is Pokimane has made it to Shuhan's Break Tackle on the Strength 4 block. It's a really interesting gimmick here to have a Strength 4 ball carrier. I like this idea quite a lot. Break Tackle will surprise a lot of teams with the Strength 4. Then Amaranth is Mighty Blow. Not going for guard on the defensive. The defensive are the main pieces. And then a couple guard and a few blodge. Kaide the second, Lily Peachy the second, Nikki the second, Yuki the second, making it to block. No sneaky git, but that concludes that team. They will be playing up against the Foot Clan Fighters. These are the Renegade team, but they got absolutely battered last match. They lost 4 MMGs and a kill. Yeah, what a horrible mess. Bebop is out, Krang is out, Tocker is out, and Foot Soldier 58 is also out. So they're going to be down to 1300. I'll quickly check, and they are live. So let's get into it, shall we? I'm worried I've missed turns like I did the other day. And yeah, I missed a little bit, but not much. So it looks like, can I get a quick look at the dice log? Not really. So we're just missing the first turn here. We only have the one big guy left, and it's the Renegade Ogre, one of the worst. It looks like a prayer to Nuffle with some of the bear trap on this tile, so you have to roll a dice check, and if you roll a 1, your player is removed. I had that happen to me in playoffs once. It is not something fun. But the main thing is there's only one tackle, I should say, and that is Shredder. Shredder is the reason that the Foot Clan Fighters ran up a 3-0 score in their round of 32 games. Have Star hello. And he will have to do a lot more heavy lifting today. We also have 30 player sneaky git, and that will also have to be very efficient. There's no bribe for the Foot Clan Fighters. I will take a quick moment as we reposition before we pick up the ball and have a quick look and see what any inducements. It looks like Foot Clan Fighters obviously were down players, but there's not by much, and they only took a keg from the looks of things. Can I have a look at the bench? That's just a Renegade Goblin, so no star players, just a keg. So after all that damage, it's come into parity with the influences here from Con. So I think Con, I want to say, is Rel fresh. Could be Big O fresh, I'm not sure. But a 1-season team, and the Foot Clan Fighters are, I believe, a 2-season team. And we do have the ball at the first time of asking, which is always a nice thing to have. But no foul. Source, hello. Sevstar, hello. Everyone's piling in. Rather grim outlook for the Noctifer. I agree. I think this is a really horrible... I mean, there's all going to be horrible matchups, but you'd at least want some big inducement money to get more big guys back onto your team. The Zons seem perfectly poised to kick these guys while they're down. And kick them out while they're down, I should say. Yeah. I will admit, I don't recognize a lot of these names. I notice he seems to have picked influencers very adjacent to quite controversial figures such as Asmongold and Saikuno. But anyway, they've gotten off to a good start. That's a break into a stun. And there's a lot of these people I don't think stream anymore. Or at least not as much as they used to. Anyway, Big O Prem winner, of course, Noctifer. Yeah, no, you are right. I remember saying that last time. It's still coming back to me slowly but surely. So yeah, this is the first game of the round of 16. There's a couple more over the course of the weekend. Rainlord, hello. I have heard of at least none of these. Oh, really? Have you not heard of I mean, Pokemon and Lily Pichu were fairly popular once upon a time. I'd argue that Lily Pichu is definitely still popular. I agree. I know about 2/5, I think, and a lot of the ones that I recognize are they were like, or I don't know if there's a polite way of saying it. Some of them were like groupies for North American League of Legends players back in the late 2010s, and they pivoted that into successful Twitch streaming careers. I think okay, we get it. You're a distinguished gentleman, Lord Brainlord, who hasn't been nicknamed Lord Porn Lord in the Discord. You're a wholesome man and has no idea the livelihood of any of these women. I fully understand. Hey, dude, seeing some of these things make me feel odd as well, so don't you worry. Yeah. Like, I swear, like half of these are some of these are really controversial, like, people, I think. Anyway, they're gearing up for a very big, oh yeah, they've isolated Amaranth, and they're looking for a foul, but we might, okay, no early snake. We get away with the blitz. How safe is our ball? Actually quite safe. Amazon is always a bit of a slow team compared to some others. We do make sure we can't get marked because we're going to give up all of our pitch position to get the play in here. Sorry, I was not following the action too much there, but I will from now. I think we've done our team analysis. Oh, there's no break. Luckily, there's well, I say lucky, he's got sneaky git, so no dramas. But it's a nice setup. I don't think Amaranth's going anywhere, and that should be another foul next turn. I think it's a really fascinating way to look at an Amazon team where they've turned the blockers into ball carriers and killers, right? Like, it's a very all your eggs in one basket sort of approach. But I do see the vision, especially with the ball carrier one, like strength 4 break tackle with Blodge, sure hands. Like, this is a really unsackable piece in fresh divisions. I think it's the inefficiencies will meet out here in the playoffs, but they found a very good opponent to beat up on here, and then all of a sudden they're in the quarterfinals, and pressure's a wonderful thing on Blood Bowl coaches, and anything can happen. As it stands, the Con has managed to, take in what's been offered here. Noctifer's gone all in for this big time foul and given up the rest of the pitch. And we'll have to be careful because Baxter Stockman's only even 6, so we'll have to throw it this turn if he wants to be safe. Either that or step backwards. Meanwhile, that's a smash knee. Very early smash knee on a lineman. They've only got 12 people here, and one of them's a goblin. So we have to let this go, but we're not very happy about it. So that'd be another miss next game to add to the pile. Although the super guys will be coming back should they win this match. Now, will they wrap another one round here? We can certainly free up Kaide. I think Kaide is the most normal out of all of the people that he's put on his team. By any measure of it. I think she'd probably feel a bit offended if she was on a team called Influencers in brackets, but let's be real, she's not going to watch this stream, that's for sure. Let's turn on to Foot Soldier 64, and Rocksteady is surrounded by Amazons. And after all that, Amaranth gets away. There was no break, so Amaranth can just get away from that, and now it looks very bad for Noctifer. The silver lining is that there's no dodge on this Amazon team, so we can always potato with Shredder and get a bit lucky sometimes. But obviously, Noctifer is a good enough coach to not want to resort to that unless he absolutely has to. Unfortunately, though, it's looking pretty bleak. We can cage if we want to, but it's the turn after the cage. It's going to be very difficult, especially if Rocksteady gets knocked down, and I suspect he will. We'll see. He's got a lot to think about here. Guard in front. Can we get a few tackle zones maybe? Yeah, let's get a few tackle zones up. You can see this map looks, it's not insurmountable, but the threat of course is of this safety. And we have safeties 3 squares deep with Shredder. Right, here we go. Trying to take on this blodge. It's going to be so annoying. I fully agree, Source. So you can get the cage, but the influences can just elf screen for 7 turns, and the cage actually can't move, unfortunately. And then it'll almost be at the mercy of an ogre bonehead or something. Could open things up. There's no sidestep though on this Amazon team, and that's kind of what will give you hope if you're a Noctifer fan, because they can't. It's not obnoxious. They can't whack 2 sidesteppers in front of the cage, because then you feel like you can't even blitz. Anyway, tackle does break this armor. And that's a knockout. Oh, a huge KO onto Emeru. Oh, it was only a line woman. Sorry, I thought Emeru was Pokimane. My bad. But still, that levels things up. And Noctifer will need more of that. He'll need those six. He'll need his 6s to pierce at a rate that wouldn't be expected by a non-mighty blow. Peace. And yeah, we are just having to try our luck here and throw one dive. We get a big 6 here from Rocksteady with Mighty Blow coming in on the Amazons. Con will be a bit upset here. That felt a bit unfair. So like a 2+, 6+ check to break. Fortunately, it's just a stun. And the foot soldiers can get back on their feet, although marked by Amazon Linewoman, that's a pretty horrible trade for Noctifer, because the Amazon Linewoman can just stand there. You don't want to block into her, and she can walk away next turn very freely. And you don't really want to dodge either until it's the end of the turn. And yeah, we're not messing around with screens. This is the hope for Noctifer, is that Con decides they're not going to mess around with the screening, and they'll try and dive, and they won't respect the movement 8 from Shredder here. That's the only hope that Noctifer has. That and the pillar of strength that is Rock. If Rocksteady can eat a couple 1-die blocks, let's say, maybe draw some rerolls, we could do it. Yeah, the Break Tackle Dive is definitely on around the corner, and I think that is what Con is looking at as well. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then cut this corner in here, but it's not amazing. I think a more likely play is just to mark with the Break Tackle, but yeah, marking this square. Potentially. Are we going all the way through? We are going all the way through. We're in with the Break Tackle. Okay. That's a 1 on the rush. Oh, we snaked the rush. Pokimane trips over. Did the hard part. Got in there. Yeah, they made the 5 up. Well, 4 up, I should say. And unfortunately snaked on the final approach. And now we might start thinking about rocking downfield, though it's not an easy catch, is it? More breaks. Ogre doing ogre things. Huge performance. This is Rocksteady's game. He's kind of been overshadowed by Bebop and Kronk. Those two have been incredibly strong and better statted, better everything to big guys. Whereas Rocksteady, he's still a block pro ogre, right? Like, it's still a movement 5, actually 4+, so he can sometimes make the ball play. And it was a nice backup ball carry. If we ever lose Shredder, just give it to the strength 5 block guy. And these ones have only got 2 guard. They're going to struggle to find a way through to a 2-die hit on him. But yeah, it's a tough old turn. We could, I mean, the guard is very... I'm a little bit surprised at this mark, personally. I myself would have marked up onto Kaide, and then that gives us potentially a surf on Chica, the guard one. And that probably would have been my line, but it probably would have also resulted in the ball getting sacked, so I can understand Noctifer wanting to play a safer turn. But yeah, I certainly would have blocked... Oh, actually, no, it's not a surface if we don't have grab. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a surf. What am I talking about? Still, I think I still would have tried to conga line the guard into a weird pause. We can now, though, get a 2 assist foul onto Pokimane, but it's a very high stakes foul. If it breaks, or if we get sent off, it's a full exposure of the ball. And I don't think Baxter Stockman's going to survive the attention of Amaranth, unfortunately. And yep, this is it. We're gonna take our chance now. It's going to be tough. We'll have to forego the foul, which I'm sure Noctifer's not very happy about, but he also wants to try and score. And we can get a good, not a good screen off. We can get to 2 rushes. We can rush to here and then put Baxter Stockman on this square, and that's good enough for a turn. And that will actually be good enough for a score, 9 times out of 10. It's a couple of very important rushes. We don't make the first one, and we now get very scared. Can we get away with just this? Maybe we can, actually. It's only movement 6. Yeah, he's gonna get. I think he can actually get away with 1. And that will do it. We make sure to hand off before taking any extra blocks in case we get in our own way. And another rush fails, and this has to be re-rolled as well. If we don't snake, it's not a disaster, but our defensive half is looking pretty rough now from a Renegade point of view. And the Amazons have bench to spare. They will not be fussed about taking a couple KOs on the chin. There's more where that came from. Got Tina Kitten, I don't know who Somerset is, and I don't know who Nemo is on the bench. Okay, a good 3 turns then for the Big O champion. He's managed to slip the net. Noctifer deciding to go all in with the Pokimane dive. Did snake the hit, has to be said, but it was a break tackle hit. And they've still got 2 rerolls to cook with on their attack drive. And we are going to try and get rid of this fouler. This is a good target. I think Con will be happy conceding if it means that Foot Soldier gets injured. Oh, we've thrown a greedy 1 dice block here before we take a big action, and that's going to be a second reroll. We've only got 1 left now for our attacking drive. And the influences, it's not been pure perfect Blood Bowl. We're actually going after the ball carrier with a 2 die hit. Of course, it's a warrior blocker. I keep thinking they're the blitzers, but they're the blockers. It's a 2 dice shot. Onto Baxter Stockman even. And down there you go with a snake on the armor. And now we have to think about walking forward a square. I think we do have to take this, unfortunately. We just have to trust that 75% of the time we're a problem. And yeah, unfortunately, tackle exists, doesn't it? Tackle will play. I don't think we can. Oh, we do. Oh, I don't know about this, guys. We're all in. All in for the influencers. They want to stop. They want this 0-0 at the half. Huge set of turns there. All the rerolls gone, I think, in back-to-back turns. Apart from, I think there was 1 used by Pokimane earlier, but that was 4 rerolls in 2 turns. And the upshot is that Shredder is in a real spot of bother, actually, because there's guard here. So there's no way forwards unless we just walk away from the Jaguar Warrior. So we're looking at what, 3, 3, 2, 2 would be the dice. No reroll for the rush. We're gonna just take a cheeky 2 die hit here, free up a line. This is a good fundamental Blood Bowl. We just take our 2 die. Get a lucky 6, which doesn't hurt at all. It is a very scary activation though. 1 in 9 does kill our drive. Oh, it doesn't kill our drive because we have Blodge Step. And the no rerolls is actually, yeah, I agree, Sauce. We're in honest Blood Bowl territory. And this Blodge Stepper is incredibly dishonest. So it's a very good it's a very good situation for Noctifer now, because it means that Shredder doesn't get knocked down much anymore. Because there's no frenzy and no tackle. And so the Zons are never going to get enough for a 3 die hit. So it's only ever, they need to find 6s now. And another knockout, this time on Sweet Anita. That's the name I half recognize, to be honest. And she's gone, and now it's getting a little bit better for the Foot Clan fighters. And this isn't good enough. Oh, we could have surfed there. I think we definitely could have surfed there. And then I would have, yeah, no, I'd have stayed, pushed here, walked around, and then can we walk around? Oh, we can't walk around. Okay, that's fair enough. That's my bad. No one can walk around easily, so it's not a nice situation to be in though. We don't want to throw a one die. We don't really want to dodge. It's a bit bad. We okay. It's definitely looking like in Bloodstep we trust. And after all this, we're left with a terrifying 3+ if we're a Big O fan, and we do have to try it. A huge moment in the game. Oh, we get there. Shredder just about survives the situation. Burns his dodge skill though, so he doesn't really want to walk through. This square here is actually not bad for him, because Star Yuki would have to take a 4-up into a tackle, but we're either going to be happy here, get our 2-die hit on the line woman, doesn't take the bait down. Eminently sensible. We do have to follow. I like that. That's a good choice. Completes the screen now if we flip this round. So as you can see, there's no easy way. You have to go over the top if you want Amaranth to get in there. So let's go back quickly. We're getting a lot of 6s here. Not feeling the pressure of Blodge or the dodge skill, particularly this drive. It will tell over the course of the game that the longer this game goes on, the more annoying it will feel for Noctifer, because you can't roll 6s forever. He's doing his best. He's making sure he takes every 2-die block he can get, which maximizes his chances of finding a knockdown. But it's still quite difficult to do. And now with no rerolls. No rerolls is very worrying, because any failure and we risk losing another guard to the sideline. And you can't blodge the sideline. It's a pure injury roll. We'll try and fight back though. Becky is back on her feet and gets a nice knockdown onto Baxter. There is a keg in play, remember. So this is a 3+ to get up in the KO rolls. I think you do have to let this go, but no, we power Apo. We don't want to take the risk that we lose Baxter for the second half. And you have to respect it. There's only really two Apo-able pieces on the team. And although one is better than the other, you may as well, this guy might not even be knocked down all game, so it's a perfectly valid time to use the Apothecary there. The keg can be saved for the line fodder and the goblin. Yeah, and we will spend our turn stopping the surf on Chica the best we can. And there is not much else to do. We can step away. Stepping away with Star Yuki is important. We don't do it, and it might save the surf at the cost of a touchdown. This has to be so, like, if I'm Noctifer, I'm so tempted by this. Getting a level 3 player into an injury roll feels very good, especially when we can just step away on a 2+. But at the same time, it's easy to call for surfs when you're in the spectating booth, and it's a lot harder to commit to them when you're in the game. No problem, creature, and welcome to the stream. It's a very interesting one. We have some very, very experienced, I dare say expert coaches in the chat who will definitely make their opinions known if I go off on the wrong tangent or miss something important. But it's important that, it's quite a complicated game, Blood Bowl. There's a lot going on. So it's, I try and make it a bit more beginner friendly when I do the commentary stuff. Right, what's the situation now? So our situation is we can run away. The problem is that wherever we go, Amaranth can also go. And remember that Amaranth's strength 4, so this will be a 2-die hit on to Shredder. Should Shredder choose to stay on the pitch and not try and run in the touchdown. But with the time on the clock, there's 3 turns left, and this guy's movement 8. So Noctifer can definitely take a turn to relax here. He doesn't go for the surf. Oh my goodness, another POW. Wow, he's very, very efficient with these blocks. This is essentially it's a 6+ check. Has to roll a 6 on the dice, and he's doing it. He gets 2 goes at it at a time, but still, it's it's like a 1 in 3 of happening essentially. And yeah, I think Source is definitely called the play. He will now blitz the Mighty Blow with his token tackle, which of course cancels out the dodge skill that's innate to all the Amazon pieces. And now he doesn't need it. Another 6. Another 6 from Noctifer. I think it's definitely going beyond making his own luck now. Oh, and we get a nice setup for the foul. Okay, now we might see Shredder. Yes. Oh, this is how Noctifer wins the Big O. Brings his ball carrier back to get another assist for a big foul. That's a badly hurt Jaguar linewoman. The ref doesn't care. The apothecary comes out and will save her. But still, it's a really nice little situation. It secures the stall now. And Chica's in real trouble now. I think the only thing saving her is Foot Soldier doesn't want to take an armor break himself, so she will be able to walk away. But very, very good turn from Noctifer there. Take some notes. That was, you match up into Amazons. The cheap rejoinder is to say just roll 6s, but I think he's made a lot of his own luck with the way this drive's gone. Yeah, you know what I'll do, creature? I will put on the innate skills. So because I'm operating with all the leveled up skills. But if I can figure out how to do this. No, innate. There we go. So now you see every skill that they've got. And you notice that all the Amazon pieces have dodge. And the nice thing is, because the Renegades have been so beaten up, all of their legendary players with 2 banks worth of skills have been removed for this game. Oh, another serious injury comes right back. And that one will stay out. We used our apothecary earlier. So it's another Foot Soldier. Serious injury, another miss next game. So yeah, the picture might be a bit more clear now to newer people. And that will end the Amazon turn. Not much for them to do. They've marked everything up. They took their blitz. They got a nice removal off that blitz to trade out the Jaguar blocker. And the pro skill coming in clutch there. Using the pro, passes the check, re-rolls this dice from a 1 to a 6 and a big break. Oh. KO will do it. Another blodger down. That's Star Yuki on the bench. So 4 KOs, but starting with 3 extra players, so this isn't too good. Exactly. This is Rocksteady living up to the name, earning his bread here. It feels like when it's like the 4th game of a baseball series and all the good starting pitchers are they've had their go, so they call up the 4th starter and he pitches 8 innings for one ERA or something. That's what it feels like here. Rocksteady's has to put it all on his shoulders now. All the star players and superhuman players are in the hospital, so he's had to step up and be the leading man. And this first half has been really good. No boneheads, good removals, held the center of the pitch. So the Amazons have had to go around him the whole time. Strong play. And back to Stockman, takes the blitz. And that's an interesting blitz target. I suppose we just agreed that I think because we were all marked, he didn't want to risk any failed dodges and will now simply try and walk away with his elf. The elf Shredder will dodge away on 2 pluses. And with the dodge skill as well, that's essentially a 97% chance that he walks away. We live in hope of the 3% that he falls on his ass, but that doesn't happen. It's 1-0. 1-0 to the Foot Clan fighters. The influencers get 2 KOs back. Obviously, these 2 injuries can't come back. And so, 10 Renegades left to defend. In Mondo Gecko, the Renegade Goblin. We do have a throw teammate angle. And that might be the salvation here for Noctifer. You might be able to find a 2-2 by throwing Mondo Gecko on the last turn of the game. And then winning the coin toss into overtime. Pray that Shredder's still on the pitch. And we just give it to Shredder and hope they can't roll. The way the rerolls got burnt in the first half, I suspect we could see a reroll-less overtime if we get there. Because these guys aren't afraid to roll a big gamble hit to try and end the game early in the drive. We'll see. Ogre goes on the LOS. Because it is a 2-turn, right? So it's an interesting hedge. I'm worried they might have given up a bit too much ground, but if we count our squares here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if an Amazon gets to this line with the ball, they can, in theory, score on their turn 8. So you notice here at the top, we've got 2 turns left for the Zons to make their move. Noctifer hasn't finished his setup. He's still having a think. He's already burnt 3 minutes of his time bank. Con has not burnt a second. A fast-playing Amazon team. Although, to be fair to him, there hasn't been that many difficult decisions to make. His turns have kind of played themselves out ever since that Pokemon Snake on the rush. Could have been rough. And this is a really interesting one. We offer the Goblin as a blitz target. So the Mighty Blow hitter Amaranth can very easily on their turn just walk up and punch the very weak and frail Goblin. But at the same time, she would then be trapped in a circle of renegades. And the Fowler is right there behind the Goblin, ready to end her career. So it's an interesting trade-off. And look at this setup. It is required when you're 2-10. Just everyone on the line. Pray the kick is nice and shallow. And did anyone get a reroll? Oh, Iron Man. Here we go. One of your players gets +1 armor for the match. Amaranth gets an armor up. No one gets a reroll because I believe they tied the check. They rolled a dice here, I suspect, somewhere. We can get to it. Yeah, I think they both rolled a 7 or something. And so no one gets a reroll. Amaranth will now be armored 10+, which is very difficult to get through now for the regular blocking. They will have to. The foul will cut a well-assisted foul will cut this down, but you have to knock her over first. And strength 4 blodge is going to be difficult to knock down because you suspect that Shredder will have something more important to do than try and gang up for one hit on this piece. And yeah, this 2-turn is looking very doable now, it has to be said. We can get Amazons all the way up to here. They could then run in next turn, and they can't all be marked. The hard part will obviously be the agility. It'll be picking up they have to pick up the ball, and then some sort of pass or handoff. Now, the downside of carrying on a Jaguar Warrior is that they pass on a 5-up. Not that you should be passing much, but it makes these desperation plays a lot less likely to happen. And we do actually pick the ball up thanks to our sure hands. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it's looking like 4 scoring threats here. 4 influences in scoring range. And we will try and take it for Tina Kitten. Only pushes though. So she'll be okay. I mean, she's pushed out of range, but we've still got Loser Fruit and Ari Game Plays who are also in range. Although it'll be a lot harder to get over there. We can hand off and then do a quick pass with Nikki here. I think that's what will have to happen. So yeah, the Renegades are all in on this left-hand side. Although I say that Tina Kitten has still got quite an easy line to score. There's no way, she's unmarked. So it would be simply a 3-2-2 to score. So it's looking not impossible. I mean, it's very unlikely still. We would have to throw. So it's a 2-2, 2+2+, 3+ catch, and then another 2+ and 2+. So, well, I don't know what that comes out to. Definitely under half. Odds off. This works, but it's very doable. The main thing for Noctifer is that he didn't lose the Ogre. Rock said he was only stunned. And the Amazons probably don't have time to foul. I'd be very shocked if they did try and foul him, because a failed foul will stop the turn before they can try and score. So the Amazons will probably just be in the business of scoring this drive. We may see an Amaranth block onto Mondo Gecko. But they've been very well screened off. Amaranth would have to take it. Always knocked himself out. That could be a problem. He wanted to try and make it difficult. But in the way he's freed up an easy Mighty Blow hit now onto Mondo Gecko. We don't do it. We go for the Fowler. Actually a valid target. This is the most damaging piece though there is for the Foot Clan fighters. It also clears the lane for this scoring play. So there's no dodge now. It's just a pure rushing check. Alright, here we go. Oh, poor old Pokimane. Someone get us some footwear. Slipped on the grass, first time of asking, and that will end the drive. 1-0 to the Renegades. The Foot Clan fighters are very happy about that now. They can relax now. This drive can be a total washout. And as long as they keep the Ogre, the Goblin, and Shredder alive and well, they'll always have a chance at a one turn to win the game. But Noctifer, I think he'll want to try and turn these Zons over. I don't know if he's going to be that impressed with what he's seen. I've been pretty impressed. I think this Amazon team is very strong. And it can probably still do the business. But I don't think they've played a lights out, strategically perfect game of Blood Bowl. They haven't had to because their skills have sort of paid the bills. And that's the problem when you play a very strong early team like Amazons or Norse or Undead, is that you lose your sort of edge. You know, you get a bit blunt and a bit rusty because a lot of the time the blodging just bails you out of any sort of poor situation. Not to say that Connor's been playing badly. I think he's been playing perfectly fine. It's just that when you get to the round of 16 of Rebbl playoffs, sometimes you need to be above. You need to be above fine. You need to play like a lights out 10 or 12 turns, at least. And we are going to isolate Rocksteady. He put Rocksteady on the LOS, and that might be the first mistake we've seen from Noctifer because oh wow. Oh, never mind. No, sorry. I thought he was being. No, this could be a problem. We can blitz into Foot Soldier, and that will give us a huge foul onto Rocksteady. Be a 5-assister, maybe, or 4-assister at least. Oh, okay, that'll make it a little bit less painful. But still, 4 assists. That essentially cuts this to a 6+ armor on the 4 assists, so very dangerous little moment now for the Foot Clan fighters. If you're a Big O fan, you're a little bit worried about this foul. The Uga gets knocked out. It'll be a very long 8 turns. Here we go. It's Tina Kitten. And she only rolled a 5. So not quite enough. And I think it was a push diff. If this was a knockdown, we could have filled this square, taken an extra made this be a +5, and then we're through the armor. So that block onto Foot Soldier saved the Ogre from a world of pain. Ref didn't mind though. Blood Bowl refs don't really care about fouling too much. No doubles rolled. It's like Monopoly. If you roll a double, you go to jail when you foul. And that's why this guy's so good, because the Sneaky Get skill gets rid of that Monopoly feature for the first check. Like you can roll 6+6 to get through the armor, and the ref won't care. Or any double for that matter. So it cuts the risk in half. It's a very strong skill. But the Amazons don't have it, notably. I think it might be the only thing missing from them. Maybe another Mighty Blow, or maybe a tackle with the Mighty Blow and then a Fowler, and I think the Amazons are set. And yeah, here we go. This is what should normally happen when you block Amazons. Push, stumble, which gets stopped by the dodge. And then your block has done nothing. And it's left the very frail and vulnerable Goblin marked up by a vicious Amazon linewoman. Which is a little bit spooky if you're an Noctifer fan. This game's settled in quite nicely, I think. There's not much for Noctifer to do here. What he'll be doing is he'll be clicking on Shredder and clicking on the ball carrier every single turn just to see if he can make a move. Because Baxter Stockman is passing 2+. Oh, he's going to blitz with Baxter. Interesting. We don't want to commit. Shredder, we don't need to because we've rolled boxcars on the blitz, so it's just as good. And yeah, the armor breaks are slowing down a bit. Amazons are frail, but they're not that frail. And this, unfortunately, is lineman on linewoman action, so the both down is not enough. And we don't want That's very interesting. The orthodox play is to push here and take an extra block, but we want a fouling assist. So we're gonna get him out wide, and then Foot Soldier 32 will deliver a big time hit. In he goes. No injury, and it's just a stun. The ref's okay with it though. And this will be the main way that they get removals. And oh, okay, failed dodge. Oh, the floor's lava out here, badly hurt. Another injury. This poor keg. This is the classic Blood Bowl curse. You induce, you pay a bit of money, you get a Bloodwiser keg, which makes the KO rolls a bit easier for you, and then a 0 KOs, all injuries, and the keg is just sat there useless. All right, Rocksteady's hitting the dirt again. Mighty Blow will need to do a bit more than that if it wants to get through the hide of the ogre. And we're going to take our bonus hits as well. See, this is the problem with that Blitz interaction going so poorly. We get lots of follow-up hits. And there's no removals. But this goblin might be the one. All down he goes. It's a power from Somerset on the third dice. But the goblin's okay. A 3. Goodness me. The Blitz action is going to be in the middle. And that's good enough with the block skill. Down goes Foot Soldier 61. Opening the lane for the ball. Actually, never mind. The ball's already come up. It's screened off fully. There's not much to do here for Noctifer. And it's a bit rough because all he can really do with these players is stand them up to be punched again. And eventually the armor will break. Rocksteady is pinned to Emiru here. So Rocksteady, the huge ogre, will have to break armor on this piece. Now, fortunately, he's got the block skill, so this isn't as good a play as it would have been for Con against most big guys, but this one's made it to block, so Emery's life is in serious danger, a lot more danger than it normally would be. But I suspect Con will be happy to trade Emery for keeping the ogre occupied for 2 turns, because that's definitely the bargain he's making. Foot Soldier here, he's taking extra arms. It's a very interesting way to build. So we have our super Raji elf, we have our incredibly good renegade ball carrier, and in case either of those go wrong, we now have a backup extra armed lineman. There's no good foul though, is the problem. We'd have to just chuck a fade away, no assist foul. Noctifer wants to be moving his pieces to the left hand side here. He doesn't want it to be an easy procession. He might want to make the Amazons at least roll a few dice. Or does he? Does he, chat? Baxter wanted that 2-die block onto Sweet Anita. Try and push the guard into the ogre as well. But it's not good enough. 1 in 9'd it. Who do you want to win? It's a really good question. I think I want Noctifer to win. It is nice having a team with players that I recognize on it. Especially because you guys are all ancient and you don't recognize them. It's quite funny. But I just like the idea of losing all your players and still doing okay. Oh, it's a KO. Oh, down goes the goblin. Ooh, the 1 turn is looking rough. The 1 turn is looking very rough. What's the first skill on the thrower? Yeah, it's pass, I think. Oh no, yeah, safe pair of hands. If this player is knocked down while carrying the ball, you may place the latter in an unoccupied adjacent square. So you get to basically choose where it scatters. And you can make it so they can't catch it off the knockdown. Very niche, very, very niche. But it does help against all that sort of stuff. Ah, there you go. I didn't know that. Yeah, unfortunately, the casualties have added up here. So they're down 4 players. They had 12, so they're down to 8. And the Amazons now have a very large player advantage on the board. So it's very difficult for the Foot Clan fighters to muster any sort of defense. And Noctifer was sad he didn't put up at least a bit more resistance. And this is also quite it's a scary roll now, because sometimes he doesn't pass the KO check and the goblin doesn't come back. And overtime gets very difficult. Good for free, yeah. I think I like that as well. That's a good. It's like foul appearance. You'd never take it yourself, but it's a very lovely free skill to get. Another power here for Rocksteady. And he's still breaking. He's fighting hard, that guy, but it's only a stun this time. Frees up this foot soldier. I might have done it the other way around and freed up the ogre personally. Martin Cruel. Hello, good evening, sir. No, there's been no deaths. There's like 3 more MNG. There's 2 more MNGs on the Foot Clan fighters to go with the, well, not to go with, but oh, here we go. Big break. Does this go? No, it's just a stun. Yeah, I'm right up. Another knockdown though. Oh, this will be a big power. Sweet Anita's gonna eat a foul here, I'm pretty sure, from Baxter Stockman's block. It'll only be one. It'll be unassisted, but I think it's still too good to pass up if you're Foot Soldier 32 here. Or do we go on to Loser Fruit? I don't think we can. Yeah, here we go. No break though, so not this time. And these 3 kind of have to stay down. Yeah, there's nothing they can do. And we're terrified. We've got PTSD of the floor after the last time someone tried to dodge off. They just badly hurt themselves on the ground. And the influencers will get themselves into an unassailable position, camping out, stalling out here on the end zone line. There's a big power. But this 30-player sneaky gets lived a charmed life. Con has been targeting them whenever they can, but it's just been bouncing off. Really bouncing off, unfortunately. Although, as I said, the influence will be very happy here. They'll run out the clock, try and score on their turn 16. They are at the mercy of the one-turning goblin, but it's always an unlikely play. And we are going to try and get rid of all of them. And this works because we have a lot of spare pieces, so we can afford for the ref to send players off if it means getting rid of renegade players. But no, well, it's been a slow start to the round of 16. Not many serious deaths, but there's not been much mighty blow. There's only 1 mighty blow on each team. And there's an awful lot of blodge that those mighty blow pieces are trying to punch. So it's been very, very difficult. Well, they're having a lot of powers, I will say. There are some games where blodges barely get knocked down. Tackle will do its work though. Sweet Anita eating another hit into another foul. She's really getting put through it. Okay. And a KO. Safe. Safe and not injured. Unfortunately, that has left Loser Fruit to be the target of this next foul. And Noctifer probably wants injuries at this point. If you can see, there's no Apo in the game for Con. They used it in the first half. But we want more than KOs if we're a Big O fan. Don't get it. Sneaky Git bails us out. And this, we finally try and dodge somebody. Okay, fortunately he survives this time, but these linemen are a bit clumsy. They don't seem to be up to much this game. And so you can clearly see here the Foot Clan fighters holding Loser Fruit hostage and saying, if you don't score now, she's going to get it. We've got a fouler right here. But I don't think Con particularly cares, because as you can see, there's more where that came from. So the stall will carry on, I suspect. And it does mean this will move quite swiftly, I think, onto the back half. Take our 2-die hit now. Amaranth coming in. Trying to get a fluky knockdown and KO onto Rocksteady. That would really put the Scuppers on a 1-turn attempt. But no dice this time. It's always a bit risky, but there was no easier target to hit. And we've actually made a slight error here. We haven't left ourselves a foul if we're the Amazons. I think the Amazons desperately wanted a foul this turn to try and keep the players coming off the pitch, but they don't want to risk one of their blodgers. And they activated all the linemen first without thinking, I suspect. You certainly don't want to trade a Foot Soldier for Kaide or Lily Pichu here. Because these 2 skills give them a lot more utility than just these chumps. We'll keep on punching, and Tackle is making good use of itself here. Negating the dodge skill, keeping it a fair game for at least this 1 block a turn. And that's probably all Noctifer's going to get. And we now have a blodger to go after. So you'll see the team now pivot up top here. And I suspect, and put a large amount of assists into this Lily Pichu foul. Oh, never mind. Shredder's going to get himself into a threatening position. This is interesting. We're going to try and force a slightly earlier score. Or at least, I think the idea here is that we're going to force them to respect this and to cage. And that will free up some foot soldiers to make these fouls incredibly guaranteed. Or sometimes they don't respect it, and then we get to knock them over and potentially win the game. But before all that, here's a 2-assist foul on Lily Pichu. Oh, and the rest finally had referee's a tier 3 subscriber apparently, and he's had enough. Dirty player goes off. Goodness me, Noctifus not happy with that one. And let's check the dice on that. It was a 3+4, and here we go. It was a double on the injury roll, which isn't covered by Sneaky Git, and then the ref sent off the coach as well. He really was a tier 3 subscriber, sending off the coach. Outrageous. Oh, the extra arms guys next on the list for Amaranth. Push both down. Oh, she follows up. Interesting. We're going to try and wrap around onto Shredder and put him under some pressure. This has been the way that Connor's played it. He did this in the first half as well. He's all about just wrapping up the big pieces. Doesn't play zone. He plays to the man. Is this enough now? Let's count our squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There is a play. However, Pokemon is strength 4, so it's a very unlikely play. Ref clearly misunderstood his job description. Yeah. Well, like I said, I suspect he's been influenced, some may say. But yeah, so this would be red die. And we don't have strip ball. Not that it would matter, but it's a very unappealing shot. I mean, in fact, we don't take it. We're going to blitz with the Ogre. Pro passes. Oh, God, he's done it again. That's the second time this game. Rocksteady, the professional, has found a way through the defenses of Tina Kitten. And a big time break. Oh, down she goes. And it's a KO. Another one off. That hasn't quite opened up the hole. He doesn't have break tackle, so he can't quite go soaring through the gap. In fact, he stood in the gap. A little bit controversially. Maybe Shredder would have wanted to use that, but I suspect it's equal movement to get either side of here. And what this will do is it might force a turn 15 score. And the goblin throw gets easier, but a 2-turn brings Shredder into play. Because this is the thing with this team. Baxter Stockman passes on a 2+, and he has the passing skill. So we can definitely see Shredder bomb it downfield on turn 15. And then if they can't knock him over, Baxter Stockman can thread the ball in from any angle. And if Shredder can find the catch, that would be the hardest role, would be the catch while he's surrounded by players. But if he can do that, he's away. This Baxter tries to get away from Loserfruit, and he fails to dodge quite emphatically. Did we lead to that? Oh, we did lead to that. Interesting. We used the reroll. I don't think we wanted him to be armor broken, potentially. And he failed it. Failed it again. 1 in 9 dip. Interesting reroll there. So I think his plan was to run him back to safety. And then he realized, oh, I'm taking an armor check. I may as well use the leader reroll just in case this kills the guy and I don't get to use my leader reroll. And we'll do this properly. Con knows what they're about. Fills it up. Sidestep can't sidestep into anywhere problematic. No dramas. And I think Con can realistically give himself another turn here. And we just step 1 to the left. And we run it in on 16. There's no point risking a 2-turn try. These guys have it in them if they really want it. This might be good enough, to be honest with you. The only guard here is on the Ogre. Oh, a nice break. Both down does the job. That's a KO. Keg's finally getting some value, I suspect, here. Took him long enough. But it could be pivotal. If the Goblin comes back, it opens up some problems. Although it has to be said, we can't use Baxter Stockman to pass to the Goblin, because the throw teammate happens in place of the pass action, and you only get one pass a turn. You can't, you can't. It's not rugby. You can't fling it back and forth between you guys all the time. You only get one pass a turn, and that pass would have to be the throw teammate. So he would definitely be reliant on the shredder handoff from deep. Becky Main happy where she is. There's no way to get to her here. Oh, and Amaranth really want to get rid of this extra arms guy. He is the easiest target. And there's something to be said for just slamming in a 2-die hit with your killer. Nothing working this time, but Amaranth's done a good. There's good returns here. Send off 3 kills, 3 Kaz and 2 KOs. A perfectly good return for the killers here on the Amazon team. Unfortunately, the trapdoors haven't. I like how it's a trapdoor, but they just gave it a bear trap as what the actual thing is. But they haven't seen much play. Both coaches diligent enough to avoid them. And oh my goodness, box cards from Rocksteady. He's really had enough of these Amazons. He wants them gone. He wants to go through to the quarterfinals. He's trying his best. He's not getting the injuries, unfortunately, but playing really well this game. And who do we go for? Oh, we see we're coming in back in for Chica. And I think there's going to be another foul action here. Oh, no, maybe not. No, we just wanted a bit of damage. We're running out. The problem is for now we're out of players to foul with, so we have to just let these players lie on the floor. Back's just going to take a breather. He's not going to. Oh, he does get up. Now this is a bit of a. We've guaranteed. Okay, this is where Blood Bowl theory falls a bit short because he wants to get his extra 2-die hit, but he has now exposed one of his best pieces. Oh, it's tempting. Is it tempting enough? Oh, I see what he's done here. Yeah, Con's not biting it. He left his valuable player with a rush, so he was trying to tempt Con to risk a rush. But Con's failed so many rushes, he just takes his score. Those 2 KOs go back. Here we go. The Goblin, they both get back. The keg is useful. Okay, there's a chance now for Noctifer. They can come in here and throw the Goblin. And they have 2 rerolls to do it with. And how does Noctifer set up against it? This is going to be the answer. They're not going to... Oh. Has Con set up against throw teammate? This is quite a niche field, and oh my goodness, he hasn't. He's left it wide open. So coaches have 2 options in this regard. They can make the throw difficult by stacking the LOS, which is a little bit harder to do. Or what they do is it has to be like a medium length pass for the throw teammate. They can only get to about this sort of square. So coaches will try and box it out. They'll go like player here, player here, player here, player here, then one like. They try and spread out their 8 players to cover as many squares as possible, make the landing. The landing's the hardest role. But Connor's conceded the field. And I say this, we're going to try an orthodox 1-turn here. So if you don't want to throw your Goblin, and I don't think they are going to throw the Goblin, they can always just blitz in here and sidestep Shredder into range because he's movement 8. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need to find 3 chain pushes. So we need to get Shredder to this line before he activates. But if they can do that, then all of a sudden they can just run it in down the middle. There's a gap. And Noctifer's licking his lips at this one. Now the question is, how many rerolls do you commit to this action? Because in my mind, you do all of them. Because I don't think you can defend. If you lose to the coin toss in overtime, you've lost, I think. Whereas this is definitely within your power. So what's the line looking like? We're probably going to have blitz. Well, this is the nice thing with sidestep, is that we kind of can blitz wherever angle is best and we can just sidestep across. So we blitz in here from this angle, push, and then you go step here. This has to be, I don't think this can be the Goblin. This needs to be a strength 3+ player because we need to take a block. Yeah. So that leaves the Amazon here. And our blitzer here. We need to fill this square for the second block, right? Because the ogre will then take a punch sideways, and with all these squares filled up, she'll be forced again into Shredder. And then I think the problem is that we run out of players, because to get the third push, there needs to be a player in this square and a player in this square. I don't think we've got enough players, unfortunately. We'd have to take some I think we might have to dodge this lineman. I think this is where the problem is. We have to recognize that Foot Soldier 64 is needed, not on the LOS, but free so he can occupy one of these two squares. Yeah, and we have realized that. This is a good play. So Foot Soldier can run around, and then this Foot Soldier here is also probably going to come around and fill this square, or fill this square even. And then that third block done by 57 will push these three squares. Shredder will go one more over here and then just run it down. It's better to Stallion Fire. Hello. Yeah, well, if it's any consolation, it could be a world here where they go through, despite the maiming you gave them, and oh my goodness, it's right in the wheelhouse of the passer. So this is wholly on. Stallion Fire, hello. Welcome to the show. And here we go. This is the first try. Oh, and it's the one time we don't want to see pals. We want pushes here, and we do get one. That's hilarious. Boxcars into the blood. Normally that's a good thing, but not in this situation. We need all the pushes we can get. Okay, we get the first one. And now we probably shouldn't activate Rocksteady. Oh no, we should try. I think we should try and activate Rocksteady so we can use Foot Soldier 61 to move somewhere. But he's thinking about it, because he also can't... It's harder to re-roll Rocksteady if he doesn't find a push. But with 3 dice, you usually find a push. That's all good, Stallion. It happens to everybody. First round of playoffs. Everyone's good for one choke. And we've got the second push. No rerolls needed yet. And now it's really on. And Con will be kicking himself here because we have 11 players. We could have done a normal screen across the line and at least made this one unlikely. And here he comes. Doesn't even need a rush. Foot Soldier 64 fills in the square. Mondo Gecko fills in the square. And now this Foot Soldier here gets the move. Here we go. That's the third push. He's thinking about fishing for a 6 here to make the catch a bit easier. But I think we just use our reroll for the catch. And now he's in range. Problem, of course, is there's an interception risk. It has to be said, the Amazons can pick this off. Emiru can pick this off. She might not have the height for it. But she'll try her best. Anyway, here he goes. A quick pitch over the scrimmage line. Pass is good. The catch is good on a 6, and the interception failed. And now we're a 2-2-2 away. And will he do it? Oh, it's the last second. Worry. He's scared now. Hesitation. Oh, he snakes it. Oh my god. It is the classic Rebbl patented playoff tripwire on turn 16. Aye, aye, aye. And Con gets away with one there. No wonder they didn't defend. They had a tripwire spread across the end zone line. Those dastardly Amazons. And it falls foul. Oh, Noctifer's going to have to try and pick himself up here because they've won the toss and they can receive. Okay. So, Con now, after receiving a huge shock to the system there. And now here we go. This is a proper chevron here. Anti-2-turn as calm as you like. A little bit off-centered. Interesting little... No, most people go... they put them on a line here. So we avoid quick snap shenanigans. That was a huge clip there. The perfect one turn until it absolutely wasn't. I haven't seen that happen since I want to say 2018, Blood Bowl 2. My stays is Goblin Pogo Stick, tripwired on turn 16, and his Goblin team ended up losing to Chaos in horrible fashion after that tripwire. Will the same fate befell Noctifer? I believe that it was me, Gunnerside, and Dranar in the booth when that happened. It was a right scene. And Baxter Stockman gets back, and we can't one turn this time, that's for sure. We'll have to off center it. I agree, Quill. 2 rerolls out of the hat, but we still got 1. It only drew 1 actually. One was the leader was used earlier in the second half by Baxter when he tried to dodge away. It only cost him 1. But it was still it's more than mental damage as well. It's something that it's something that happens to Blood Bowl coaches. So once they learn about the game and they learn like this is the correct way to play, if they're not used to variance games, oh, it's a blitz. Oh, and the variance is really starting to kick for the Food Clan fighters. Influences the rubber, the green for sure. Pokimane is going to slam into Foot Soldier 64 and send the gang downfield. A reminder for anyone unaware that we play a golden goal rule here in overtime. So whoever scores wins. And the caveat is that since Noctis was the receiving team, he would lose in the event of a 1-1 draw. So if there's no score in overtime, the defending team will win. That's the rule that we made here in Rebbl, because it is a very good advantage to receive the ball in overtime. So he will have to try and score from this position, whatever position that the influencers leave him in. That said, it's 2 rushes, and these Amazon women have been failing rushes left, right, and centre. But as I was saying, it's an important thing where coaches realize that you can play well and your opponent can make mistakes, but sometimes the dice just will that they will win and you will lose. Sometimes, very rarely. And it's all about what you can, just do what you can to control, and you need to take pride in a well played game rather than the actual result. This is all very easy to say, especially during the league phase of the season. But when you get to knockouts, it's very hard to. You can say that, but it's very hard to believe it. Sevstar, of course, missing all the action, comes back, and they don't try the rushes. They just want to try and get a mark on Shredder. This might backfire a little bit because we can still throw. Okay, I was about to say we can still throw Mondo Gecko, but the actual throwing attempt from Rocksteady will need a 6 because he's marked in 3 places, and we abandon the idea to guarantee a second dice onto Nikki. Ooh. Okay, stays on her feet, does Nikki? And that would be a problem. Now what do we do? It's a very difficult one because unless we will have to send back the Stockman right into the backfield now. And they'll have to come all the way back through. Oh, can he even pick it up? He can't! Oh no, it's all gone horribly wrong. He's 1 in 9 the pickup. At least he didn't take a reroll. And now there's a line where they can score this turn potentially. It's very unlikely. It would take a lot of dice for Nikki to score from this position. It's well covered off, but it's another turn off the timer. And Noctis is starting to run into time trouble. He's only got 3 minutes left in his chest bag, on top of the 2 minutes you get per turn. Oh, it's a snake. A snake, the 1 in 9 dodge. And a KO. Pokimane knocked herself out. Oh wow, it's all happening now. Goodness me. A reprieve. Outrageous. So that was a very quick 2 turns. The situation on the LOS hasn't changed whatsoever. These pieces haven't even had a chance to activate. Lord Brainlord getting very British with it in the chat. Right, goodness me. Shredder's not going for the ball. They're trying to open up a passing lane down the left-hand side. Although we do still have Amaranth as a safety, so this isn't home and dry yet. Where's the sideline cage going to have to be? The sideline cage can only really be here, yeah. And we're going to get the pickup this time, and we'll hand off to the big man Shredder. Oh no, he's failed the catch. And we kind of have to almost think about letting this go. Oh, it's such strong discipline. Yeah, oh, the animosity failed. Oh, that's what it was. So Shredder and Baxter had a... Oh my goodness. That's shocking. They just had a complete tiff in the middle of the field. Oh, this is what happens with Renegades. The Ogre's trying to show him how it's done and lead from the front, but the agility, the skill players are on strike. Exposed now. Baxter exposed. A very important dodge, has to be said. Mondo Gecko now also has to dodge himself to try and cover off his ball carrier. Smart detection, what on earth? Stallion Fire, that message got auto flagged before it was sent. I have no idea what caused that to be flagged. Maybe it's a common bot phrase potentially, like in attendance. But I'm very surprised. Anyway, Goblin dodge, is it enough? It is enough to screen. No, it's not. You're right, Seb. It's enough to maybe deny a 2-die. There we go. That's a bit better. So now Nicky can walk around the back and come in from the back onto Baxter. Say that 3 times fast. But it's only going to be a 1-die shot. But with a reroll, it's still decent odds of a knockdown. 5+ twice. Sometimes the ball goes down. Although there's no easy pickup for the Amazons. Not that they need to. They only need to deny the score. They don't need to score themselves, though. Interesting little turn, this. And the safety comes a little bit forward. We're going to try and cut we cut the sideline off with strength 4. That makes sense. And in comes the very important hit. We'll have 2 goes at this. We failed the rush. Once again, these ons cannot rush. And that's a reroll done. Oh, I don't know about this. Rerolling again here feels very spicy. We don't need to score ourselves here, Yotcon. We do just need to not score. Not have them score. And that reroll could come into... It could be very important. Maybe it won't be, but... I mean, it's looking pretty rough here. I mean, we don't even know if this Lover's Tiff will continue. Shredder might just refuse to interact with Baxter for the rest of the drive, but assuming he catches the ball, there's not too much he can do. It might be a really it could be a really huge blitz activation here by Rocksteady. If Rocksteady gets a blitz onto RE game plays and can get marking up onto Chica, or maybe even he might even come over here and get some guard in to give extra assists. And then we cut back to the middle, and then the Amazons are starting to get in trouble. Ball carrier surfing every time, not with the sidestep. I'd be very surprised if they could engineer it with the sidestep. And we don't want to risk animosity. We are just going to take it, but we 1 in 9 the block, and we do let that one go. The logic is that as long as these guys are still on the pitch, we still have outs. And we want to save that reroll to either score. Oh wow. 7 Brainlord kicking up a surf into a Goblin handoff. They didn't take it. Oh. Sorry, my bad. Oh my god, Shredder knocked himself out. I was too busy thinking. Shredder tries to walk away. Snakes to dodge. And unfortunately... Oh, I see. No, he was in tackle zones. He tried to walk through and knocks himself out. And now it's just Baxter against the world. Amaranth coming in with a crushing hit. And Seb wants an inquisition of both coaches at this point. And we get some use of safe pair of hands. Although I don't think you want to use it. You want it to scatter sometimes here. I think you do want it to scatter sometimes. Because now we can hand off to Nikki Nahachu and end the game right here, right now. And Con strikes me as the kind of coach who will go for this now. He'll want to wrap this up in 1 turn. I do suspect. Safety has to be committed now, surely. There's not much left for them to worry about. Nikki does have to do rushes, so it'd be a... Yeah, it's a 3-3-2-2. And Con will pause the game. Well. Oh, I see. I'm pausing a DC. Interesting. Interesting times. I'll take the opportunity to check my OBS real quick. Stallion Fire, thank you for the follow. I'm not hearing my Twitch notifications at the moment, sadly. So I'm sorry I missed it in the moment, but thank you very much. A misclick by Noxford? Oh, potentially, yeah. I was surprised. I didn't think you had to do that. Horrible little misclick that, to be honest. We're back in live. And well, that'd be a disastrous way for the Big O chap to bow out if that was the case. A religious reference. Nuffle. Oh, yes, true. Very good. You had me for a moment there. Oh, wow. Stun on to Foot Soldier 49. His game's probably done unless something really strange happens. Oh, it was a misclick. That's a real unfortunate moment there. We don't go through the score, we just secure the pickup. And Potato with Blodge. Fair play to Corny, he's giving Noctua a fair shot at the miracle play. But that was rough. So yeah, it was set up and battered by... They think that was in vain. True. Twitch did not want you to take it in vain. That's quite funny. Nothing's funny about this Noctua misclick though. I think it's a good learning. It's a free lesson, I think, for Con there. I think there's a lot you can look back on. Not in so much like he's a very aggressive player. I do like that. I like aggression in Blood Bowl. But I think he'll always run into trouble against the higher caliber of opponents. But it'll be hella fun to watch. So I'm down to watch his next game as well. This could be a really fun cast if I'm not in the boot camp. Although I doubt I'll get in. I don't think I have the streaming hours to get into the boot camp this set. But maybe they desperately need people in EU West and they'll have to take me on. This might be the reroll. Yep, here we go. 6 hunting. Oh, we don't get it. And Nikki's got blocks, so this is looking even more desperate. Okay. Only marked by the goblin, and Baxter Stockman stuns himself. And these two clowns just cost them a really good shot. I mean, Shredder. What a disaster for Shredder. Trips over his own feet to win the game on turn 16. Knocks himself out, bamboozles himself in overtime. Outrageous. And yeah, it's all academic now. 3 die into the goblin. Frees up the ball, and in she'll stroll. Nikki Nihachu will win it for the influencers. And it's Con. Con is through at the expense of Noctua, the Big O's big hope. He's done. He's finished. A crying shame. They should now be passing their turns. They might have a quick moment here as they say GG to each other, but these should now be passed out. Whoa. God help the coach who takes blocks now and has their player killed. The admins will not be happy. But I do think, yeah, there's definitely a world where tilt happens as well. And yeah, they'll walk it out. So the Amazons go through. This is the first game. I can now say their opponents will be... Let me just find their opponents real quick. Obviously they haven't played yet, but I'll let you guys know the next fixture in this part of the bracket. Let me just pull it up for myself. Playoff chat, scheduling, pins. So they play the winner of We Should Have Feathers versus Raving Reapers. So that is Outcast versus Tyrandus. And the winner of that will play this one. I agree. It was a really good... Their second half really quick fire. I thought... Well, everyone thought Noctua had it in the bag with that one turn. But not to be.